Lovelies, and welcome back to the Equestrian Manifestation Podcast, your one stop for all things horses and mindset to create the equestrian lifestyle of your dreams. I know, it's been a minute, I'm a little hoarse, but I wanted to jump on and do this episode with all of you, so I'm glad you're here with me, and let's get into it. So what I want to talk to you today is about change, and I'll be completely upfront. I recently lost a parent unexpectedly, and going through that and processing through the fear, the loss, the pain, the grief, what comes next, it really had me thinking about change and why we change and how we change and what can we do to better support ourselves through change. Because I don't know about you guys, but I am scared to change sometimes. I'm like, there's future Carly way out there and I want to be her, and I see her and I'm like, I can chase that down, but then I'm scared to do so. And I don't know about you guys, but that's something I really had to come to terms with. Like, I'm scared to change, and that's okay. So if you're listening to this and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm scared to change too. Like, I want to do more, I want to be more, but I'm scared. That's okay. I want to make this episode today so you know that you're not alone. So first of all, let's talk about why we change. Usually somebody's going to change, not really because they want to, but because they have to. So usually what we do through the change cycle is we hit a point of, things are hard, you start thinking about it, but you go back to normal. Things are hard, you're thinking about it, they go back to normal. And you're gonna do this time and time again until things get so unbearable or something unexpected happens that you absolutely have to change. And that's when we change. We don't change when we first think about it, when we're like, it'd be a great idea. Like, what if I'm not a runner, somebody who's running. Like, what if I started running every day? Like, it'd be really good for me and my health. And it's something you think about, you might try it and then you give up on it. And you're just try, do, Trust me, if you guys have tried exercising and you're like me and you're like, I don't enjoy it, you probably know that feeling. And then all of a sudden something happens, whether it's a Memorial 5K or somebody's challenged you to this holiday run or something like that, that will make you do it. But everything else before that did not. So think about those reasons why you change. Just think about the last 2 changes in your life. Just some habit, something, some lifestyle, some choice that you've changed. And just take a minute to think about why did I change that? Was that me wanting to change it, or was that me being forced to change because things got so unbearable? And the reason I say that is, like I said, we usually change when things are unbearable. It's easy to be like, oh, I don't have to change right now. Why would I do it? I know I've gone through that, and I'm sure you have as well, where you're like, okay, I have to change. Why would I? What's the point? But what I want you to know is that it's okay to do it scared. Usually, even in those moments when you absolutely have to change, you're still going to be scared. So don't let the fear of change keep you from stepping into that change. And if you're like, okay, I guess I can do it scared, I do other things scared, here's where I want you to start. What I want you to do is write down exactly where you are and where you want to be in this change, whether that's a week change, a month change, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, years down the road. Whatever that looks like for you, I want you to make a note of it, whether you're writing it down or just make a mental note. Just say out loud where you want to be. And I want you to think about that person, that lifestyle, those goals. And what is the big difference between where you are now and where you want to be? Because more often than not, there's going to be some unknown. There's going to be some fear. There's going to be some hurt, some loss, some gain, some knowledge. There's going to be all kinds of things mixed up in that wonderful soup between where you are and where you want to be. So take a minute to reflect on, here's who I am and here's where I want to go. Because it's amazing where you'll find those similarities and gaps. You're like, oh, I already know this. Or, oh, wait, I already do this. Or I know how to do this. Why am I not taking that step? What is holding me back from making that change? And if you're like me, I'll be completely honest with you, I struggle with the fear, the what if, the unknown. I can list all the things that I know, all the things I can do. But that fear, that unknown, that's the hard part. That's the part that we usually wait until we absolutely have to make that choice. You know what? I'm leaving it in. Choice, change, it's fine. What we have to do is make that dedicated decision to change. So what I want you to do, now that you've thought about yourself and your future self, like for me, I'm like, okay, I already know how to talk to people. I know how to teach people. I know how to mentor people. What's holding me back from taking that next step? And for me, it's fear and lack of resources. So I can address both of those. I can address fear. That's me, myself. That's those hard conversations you have to have with yourself. And in order to change, sometimes you do. Sometimes you have to sit in those hard emotions and you have to feel those hard emotions. Be like, you know what? Why am I feeling these, and what are they pushing me towards, and what are they pulling me away from? There's nothing wrong with those emotions. We're all gonna have those emotions. If we weren't supposed to have them, we wouldn't feel them. So sit with them, feel it. For me, I'm going to have to feel that fear of the unknown, that what if, how if, why if, what if I fail? I have to feel that. And maybe you're in a situation similar to me where you're like, wow, I feel those emotions too. Maybe you're in a totally different situation where the thing holding you back is something in your circumstances. And it's a totally different conversation on what we need to do in order to reach that next step so you can make those changes and become that person, have that lifestyle, do those things that you want to do. And I know this episode's a little ranty and rambly. I'll be honest with you. I flew in super late last night. My bag is still in another state. And I was like, you know what? I need to sit down and talk with all of you. So I hope you're able to pull a little nugget of knowledge away from this episode. If you like these kinds of things, I do post over on my social media. That's Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, Lemon8, my blog, all kinds of good stuff. I'll have it linked down in the show notes. It's all under the name, The Mare Mentality. And I absolutely enjoyed getting to sit down and talk to you today. I'm going to go ahead and let you go for the day. Maybe you'll listen to the next episode. But until next time, I will see you later, lovelies.